Leo's Legion, your Lions, my Lions, our Lions had a break, the second bye week of the year. We had a show last week. We talked about what they need to do in the home stretch, season in review. We talked about some predictions and we talked about some off-season moves potentially. But hey, you know what? They had Ottawa coming into town, arguably the worst team in the league. After a week's rest, cakewalk, right? My predictions for the next home stretch of six, 5-1. Should have been a cakewalk. But was it? Let's toss that around with the bros now. Leo's Legion, your three down bros are back after a game. Greg, Arthur, Roland are here to toss around this week's game against the Ottawa Rough Riders. Like I said in the opening, a week's rest, arguably the worst team coming into our house. Should be a cakewalk, right? A sure win. Not an easy win, but a sure win. But wait, a mobile quarterback? A decent running back? Did that spell trouble? High-level thoughts. Arthur?
Nothing but a cakewalk. My prediction last week was a 3-point win, and I was very, very scared for this game. I almost predicted an Ottawa win, but it was a great comeback. At the half, they're down by 1 point, and that's fine. They're maybe a little rusty. That third quarter was terrible, absolutely terrible, and they woke up in the second half of that fourth quarter. But that comeback is one for the ages. What do you think, Roland?
Yeah, definitely. Comeback was that was one of the most exciting games. It ranks up there, right, in terms of excitement games. I brought two friends, first time to watch a live CFL game, and throughout most of the game, I was wondering, we should be much better than this. This first initiation into a Lions game, and I was afraid that we were even going to lose. And then that comeback, man, they were excited. So good and bad. Good that they got excited, but bad because we know that they should have done better. It should not have been that exciting. We should have been leading, all the way throughout the game. Yeah, lots of things that they should have done properly. Energy level wasn't there until the end. Again, we've mentioned, coming out strong. They didn't come out strong. So I don't know how to fix that. What do you guys think?
Well, post-game show, Coach Campbell was saying, hey, this look in their eye, they were trying to wait for something to happen versus make something happen. And as Arthur has always said, we need to be the hammer.
Yeah.
And I think they were just waiting for somebody on the team to pick up the hammer.
Yeah.
And just like you, Roland, I found out we had some very good friends at the game too. First time at a game, they were gifted some tickets. Mom, dad, and the kids were out at that game. Never seen a game of football before. Didn't even know what football was. That comeback, they're Insta fans, and they cannot wait to come to the Saskatchewan game next home game. And she said, "Are all games this exciting?"
Should have said
and
yes.
I said, I wish. An emotional roller coaster for sure. It was a great game, the highs, the lows, that comeback. Holy cow, was the electricity in the building for those that stayed and watched.
Yeah.
But like Arthur said, as a fan, great game. As a coach, a podcast analyst, I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
Unhappy. It was. I thought the Lions, again, there's some bad calls. There's some adversity they couldn't fight through. Vernon Adams tried to force some things. I think those interceptions were terrible. The pick six, I have no idea what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
Cardinals sin, throwing against the grain.
Exactly.
Right-handed quarterback throwing from right to left into the middle of the field into double coverage.
Mm-hmm.
He said Keon was initially open. I saw that. He initially pump faked, and he should have just went for it, but he hesitated. And like what Greg was saying before about Vernon is there's a little, maybe some mind games, maybe some indecision, maybe some lack of confidence. maybe some doubts. And I'm just noticed that when he's down and he's trying to fight back, sometimes he takes too much risk.
Yeah, it's like he's forcing
the issue.
Yeah.
Well, I posted in that Lions chat room a few weeks back that, and I was giving our man Lucky some props as well. Like, hey, does our quarterback seem to have sevenophobia? Because there are times we see, and you look at the play in slow motion, it's like, yeah, Lucky was open. Did the guy covering him break because the ball went somewhere else? And we've slowed it down enough that no, Lucky is open. But it's just like, why are we forcing the ball to a well-covered 13, a well-covered 4, when 7 is still there, right? And granted, Vernon had that adversity, a pick 6, and then another, I think the first one was a pick that went for 6, and then the pick 6, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Was it
correct?
Yeah, one was the pick 6 one. The first one was interception that they drove down for a touchdown. Second one was a pick 6.
Yeah. No, you needed the defense to play. Complementary football. The defense needed to bail them out. And I'm going to quote somebody out there in that Lions forum. The vaunted defense looked like a ventilated defense for a good chunk of that game. They were giving up chunks of run. They were giving up chunks of, what did you say, Arthur? Short passes became decent gains, second and long. They were getting them. They were converting. We weren't.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, let's take a look at the stats, right? Ottawa ran 114 yards against us. 30 attempts, 114 yards. We talked about our run defense being weak, right? Our own runs, we only had 59 yards, 11 attempts for 59 yards. So that's another weakness.
Winter's coming.
And you got to be a balanced team, like what Arthur said. You play a much better team and you're not balanced like this, you're not going to win. We were able to pull a win because Ottawa was weaker. Total net offense, 323 for Ottawa, 366 for us. In terms of first downs, 15 plus 12 plus 2 for them, 19 plus 4 plus 2 for us. So I think, they still had a lot more than we did. So, those were the game stats. The player stats, I want to get your guys' opinion on this. It's pretty interesting. Lucky, like we were saying, 7, what was that? 7 plus 7? No.
Number 7 equals 7.
Yeah,
7
equals
is a jackpot.
Yeah. So he was targeted 9 times, 6 receptions for 87 yards, 1 touchdown. Longest was 35 yards, and he has 23 yak yards. That's pretty good. But he was not our number one receiver. Our number one receiver that evening was Justin McInnes. He was our
great game for Justin McInnes.
He was our workhorse. 118 yards, 2 touchdowns. Longest was 20. And our third quarterback was Javon Cotoy. 3 targets, 3 receptions, so 100%. 56 yards. Longest was 22. So Hollins and Hatcher, which were our workhorses up till this season, was somehow, I don't know if they didn't have a good game or if whether they were just covered. Maybe Ottawa schemed and covered them. But Hollins was targeted 5 times, receptions 3. Keon was targeted twice and 1 reception. So.
Oh, and a passing.
A PI, that huge PI. Give him that. Huge PI, yeah. Huge PI, yeah.
Would have been like 40, 50 yards to his total.
Yeah, that was 45, I think, 45 yards if he caught it at the 1 yard line, right?
Well, I think this game with those stats, I mean, it somewhat proves, that we do have a formidable receiving core. I mean, if you take those top 2 guys out, those other 3 will burn you.
Yeah.
But then again, if it gets cold and ugly and there's more pressure on the quarterback than Ottawa got, that formidable receiving core can be a moot point, like Arthur said in our season review show.
Exactly. Out of the run, so 59 yards run, 45 was Vern Adams. So Mizell only had 13 and Dominic Davis had 1. So it's completely unbalanced. We need to be able to run, and that needs to be fixed. And we've been saying that for the last few games, and I don't know why we're not fixing it.
Well, we'll see if we can get Mr. Campbell on the show here and ask him.
It's kind of too late to revamp your run game at this stage of the game. They say of the year. I mean, you can try to bring someone in. They got to learn your playbook, learn your blocking schemes. I mean, you can't change a whole bunch of O linemen.
Nope.
Yeah, but
like it's kind of too late. Like, you know, maybe they have to make it a priority in the off season, and that's what I think that's what we were recommending, and we would believe that's important. Mind you, there's a lot of areas in this team that they need to look at and improve. We can get into that as we go through the plays, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we'll jump into that. But I kind of disagree. I mean, we can't change our running back. I agree, but our O-line, they know how to block. They've been blocking since they've been playing football. They know how to run block. They're just not executing. So, I think that could be done before, this season. But it, it needs to be emphasized, right?
Well, how many weeks, and I ask you, Roland, how many weeks have they not run the ball? How many weeks have they not executed on the run game in a row?
Yeah.
Or like, of all the games this year, how many games have they executed the run well?
I would say 2, maybe 3.
Yeah, just the beginning of the season.
So they're 9-4. So the trend would indicate that execution's not changing anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, statistically, you're right, but I think in terms of player by player at the individual level, they know what they need to do. They're just not doing it, right?
Well, that's where the improvement has to be, because you're not going to airlift people in, right? So if the Lions have a chance, it's got to be improvement from within, and it has to be done really quickly.
Exactly. And we talked about the energy and the desire and the hunger. I think that goes a lot. That accounts for at least 60-70% of the way there. If they come out with that hunger, then they're going to be hitting hard. They're going to be pushing hard. So anyway, I think it's not an immediate fix, but it needs to be fixed. It's not something that can be done quickly. You said, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, our loyal Leo's Legion has heard me bellyache about special teams in the return game. I'm sure they've heard me say this a lot too. The O-line knows the play, and they know the snap count. So all that's left is to fire out with a little more intensity, a little more tenacity to hold your block that much longer. And at the same time, whoever that running back is has to hit the hole that much faster. Because like Arthur says, it's the little things, right? Just that fraction of a second longer on a block, fraction of a second quicker to hit the hole.
Yeah.
Or make a decision, something.
Yeah.
If that hole ain't there, bounce it outside. You're supposed to be quick. We drafted these scat backs, bounce it outside, and get something positive instead of this running into the back end of our O lineman. That's embarrassing. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Okay. So let's take a look at some plays. So the game starts off with Ottawa getting a field goal in their first drive. So we're going to take it up on our first possession. So this one's our first possession here. So first offensive play, complete to Hatcher, 20 yards. So
his only
looks like we're kicking.
Yeah,
looks like we're clicking.
Yeah, so it starts off okay, right? One of our key receivers, but then this, we get sacked on the next play, and then an incomplete, so we got a punt, and then let me show you this next one here. So this one here. So that was it. Yeah, tip ball. I think.
Rugamba. Manny Rugamba.
Yeah. And then Josh Woods intercepts it. So
Man, Rugamba's risking his life. Look at him. He is up there.
Look at the height that he has there.
And look at how he comes down. That guy helps him down pretty quick.
Remember, I told you guys I love Aussie rules football. This is like Aussie rules football here.
Absolutely. But man, I'm glad Manny got up after this because I mean, he this could have been an injury, but
Yeah.
thank gosh it's not.
But one thing I noticed when I was looking at the footage here, look who makes the tackle. None other than Crumb. So Crumb.
That's a good stick too by a quarterback. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really liking this guy. I mean, he's not a Lions, right? And I want him to lose, but as a player, as a CFL fan, you know, he sees the ball get batted down and he immediately runs after it. And he's right there. The moment Woods catches it, he makes a tackle. I mean, you know, man, that's heart. You know, that's
Solid tackle, I have to say.
That was textbook.
yeah, but yeah, that's heart. So, so then next one here, we get a chance to get a field goal, but we end up hitting the bar. So that's a dead play. So we're still at 0 at this point.
That's not like Mr. Sean White doing that.
I know. And then later on, Ward gets 53 yards. So that's huge.
6-point swing.
Yeah, 53 yards. So then that's the end of the first quarter. Stats here, if you can see here, we're being dominated already, right? 5 first downs to 2. The rushing yards 29-6, right? Total net yards 58-49. So it's not looking good at this point. We don't have the energy, but we're still in the game. It's just a 5-point game. It's still early. So now we go into the second quarter.
You know, part of you thinks, you know, analyst-wise, you know, a team that's had a bye week, they've come out a little flat because, you know, they've had that extra week. They don't have the rep running through their body, the muscle memory. But I thought these guys would come out hungry. I really thought they would come out hungrier than this.
Yeah. They were flat. You know, we've said that so many times, right? They're coming out flat. So, second quarter, our first offensive drive in the quarter, we start off by a pass to Lucky Whitehead. So this was one of many catches that Lucky got. So the nice thing I liked about this was on this drive, and I'll show you the next few plays. On this drive, it was a hurry-up offense. There was a no huddle. So we start off with this, and the next play was another play to Lucky. So this one was
that misdirection jet sweep. Oh, love that play.
Yeah, a jet sweep. He got quite a few yards here. And remember there was a play earlier in the season. Can't remember who we were playing. This looked very similar, where Adams had multiple options here. So
yeah, it was Holland that took it. I think that was against Montreal.
Yeah. So we got
at last home game too.
We got one player going this way, got another player going this way, and then we got this running back that could take it too. So this looked really similar to that. So it worked again, right? So nice play there. And then this was the play that we talked about to Hatcher, drawing the pass interference.
Double move.
So beautiful.
Yeah, the sure 7. If that guy didn't do that, yeah.
It was his left hand, I think, that was holding on the other side. This right hand here was not too bad, but it was his left hand on the other side.
He's already riding on his back too a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, that's right in front of you, Roland. That's you would have had a really good shot.
Exactly. I saw his left hand. His left arm was around kind of Hatcher's body, right? So, but other than this, he didn't really get too many targets. Did you guys notice? Was he double teamed? Was he not open? Like was Ottawa scheming?
It's hard. I mean, I think because Greg and I were up near the sidelines this game, so it's hard to see. Like who was getting open in that.
Yeah.
But he had Dandridge on him pretty much the whole game. Whether Dandridge got help over the top, or they cheated, and because if Lucky's in the slot, and that halfback cheats over to help out, then pick your poison that way. But yeah, Hatcher, I was very rare that Hatcher had one guy around him when that ball got there.
Yeah.
Or even when he's running his routes. But we'll talk about that. I think Arthur and I kind of had something about route running. We want to talk about that towards the end of this one, Arthur?
Okay. So then on the 1 yard line, this leads to a quarterback sneak with Dominic Davis. It sure took a while to call this, though. If you remember, I think it was like 5 seconds before they actually called the touchdown that they called it. Okay, then on the subsequent kickoff after this was a nice special teams tackle.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, beautiful open field tackle.
Yeah. So
Is that Adrian Green?
it is Adrian
It is.
Green, yeah.
It is. Look
Number
at that.
23.
That's why you don't run the vector, right, Greg?
See that? He can run the vector. He can cut something inside.
That's why you don't run it, because look at where you're scrimmaging on the 20-yard line.
But he wasn't running a vector. He was running straight sideways.
When he got the ball at the 15.
And now he's running along the 20.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a vector.
No, the vector is an angle. The
Well,
vector is what Mr. Williams ran out of that end zone. But we'll go after.
But look at the lines were there, right?
Yeah, it was great. That was probably some of the best coverage we've seen all year.
Yeah.
I mean, Ottawa. Bob Dice, head coach, is a special teams guru, and Ottawa's returners are nothing to sneeze at either.
Yeah.
But I was beyond impressed with our team's coverage.
Yeah. So yeah, beautiful play.
But I don't know. We've been talking about the coverage teams. They've been taking it up a notch. They've taken it on. They've taken some ownership of that coverage team now. I think it's nice to see.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Greg, I hope you have some wood nearby. Knocking on some wood there.
All right. So then
Yeah, there.
Ottawa takes possession here. They actually do march it down. So from their 20-yard line, they march it down, and then they're like knocking at the doorstep here. But then we prevent a touchdown with this play here.
Aladdin.
So Hiladic, yeah. So that was nice.
That was well played, well read,
yeah,
proper pursuit angle.
and he was ready. Because Crum is a threat, right? That's how he killed Winnipeg that game. So this was a beautiful play, and they got a 3, but much better than a 6, right?
Yeah. Now, question: if you're as a defensive coach or any coach, should Varga have been taking another angle to back that up? Because say he pulls out of Haladic here, he'll make that corner, I think, on Varga.
Yeah.
But I think we got another line down below. But I'm just being nitpicky.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And actually,
Varga will learn. Varga will learn.
Varga got beat on another
Yeah.
pursuit angle by Crum for a touchdown later in the game.
I have that play later too. Yeah, and he took the wrong angle there.
It's his first year, right?
Chalk it up to youthful exuberance.
Yeah.
And Crum's a pretty smart runner. I mean, he's proven that. I mean, he's been at the controls of Ottawa for quite a while. He's proven he's a smart runner.
Yeah.
Reckless, which I kind of like as a fan, but
Yeah. All right. So on our next possession, let's take a look at this. So here's our next possession. Oops. So to Lucky again. So I'm starting to like this at this point in the game. Seeing Lucky have so many touches, right?
It's interesting. He's lining up as the slot, and then you have Hatcher on the outside. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Roland, how Arthur was saying, we were sitting down on the sidelines for this game.
Yeah.
And you don't see a lot of the play per se, But man, you could hear some of the zip that Vernon was putting on that ball. Like you could hear the impact when Lucky caught that.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, he put some heat on that.
Yeah, and that's the way to go, right? And again, this drive, the next play was a hurry up offense, no huddle. So,
Tempo again, eh?
yeah. So this one here was to Kotoy now, 22 yards, and what I liked here was that not only was it no huddle, so the defense doesn't really have time to kind of react, but he got that out really quickly. You know, right after the snap, he got that out to Kotoy very fast. So those were the things that I liked.
You notice they had a good the look they wanted on that one to have it out that quick and have Kotoy in space like that to make that catch.
Yeah, but how does it work with no huddles? So do they call like the next 3-4 plays in one huddle and then they just don't huddle up? Or do they
Vernon's
call it on the
getting a
line?
play because they've got the headsets now. So Vernon might be getting a play as the other play ended, right?
And he just calls it on the line, so they don't huddle. Everyone just
It's like he's calling an audible for every play.
yeah. So I mean,
But that was a huge spot that Kotoy caught that ball in. I mean, he was open for a while.
yeah, and the yak yards there were beautiful. So this play here. So I don't have the beginning of this play because it was such a fast no huddle. They snapped the ball before TSN was ready. So this was to Hollins. So
Is that his first target of the game, I think, right?
yeah, might have been. He didn't have that many targets either. More than Hatcher, but still not that many. And then that leads to this play here. Right into the end zone
Oh,
with McKinnis.
and that's why you got him for that height.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So the defender was beat, and he was clearly pass interference. Just ran into McKinnis. Yeah, that was beautiful. All right. So then Ottawa gets the ball back. And they were able to drive it down and get a touchdown in response. So then on our next drive, we get sacked here. So our left tackle kind of let that go. You see, he was beat.
You know, you'd think after that incredible touchdown catch by McKinnis, that would energize the Lions. The D comes out, you think they'd be pumped, and then Ottawa just drives it right down, scores, and now their defense is energized. Look at
Exactly. It's like they were the they were the veteran team and we were the beginners. Right?
Yeah.
So at this point in the game, end of the second quarter, first downs they were still beat. Look at the rushing yards, 101-7. That's embarrassing.
Especially when that's only in a half.
Yeah, like 7 yards and a half, and the other team has 101. That's
But the most telling stat here is the second down conversions.
Oh, huge.
I mean, I don't know how the Lions are still in this game.
Yeah, that's right. So, but the score is still 16-15, so it's still a 1-point game. We were definitely not in it like mentally, but in terms of the scoreboard, it was still, it was still okay, right? 1 point. Then we go into the third quarter. So
If I watch this third quarter again, I might need therapy.
Well, I remember turning to Arthur as the third quarter started, and I'm like, okay, we get the ball. We've got the half to adjust. We've got the rust out. We're only down by 1. We're going to come out firing.
yeah,
And I think we kind of came out sputtering that third quarter, didn't we?
yeah. Like this drive, we couldn't get a major. We had to settle for a field goal. then it's Ottawa's ball. So then they drive it down, and again they're right at our doorstep. But here, this was a beautiful play. It was, just at the right time too, right?
Is that Mr. Menard?
No, that was Varga.
That is Varga. Okay.
Yeah, that was Varga. So, we needed to stop. It was only first down, but he got the running back for a 1 yard loss, but. Unfortunately, we couldn't hold him in the next play. So this was the play that you guys were talking about.
So, he had that angle, and then did Crum put a move on him that pulled him off that angle? He had the right.
No, he just went laterally, and there was not even a pump fake. I don't even think the stride is the same. No, there wasn't a shimmy or anything like that.
No, I think he just underestimated the speed of Crum, because Crum's got some big strides too. Yeah.
I mean, see, he's here and Crum's here. If he had gone this way, he would have tackled him.
He has support underneath.
But what happened was he made a beeline instead.
Mm-hmm.
And Crum beat the beeline.
Yeah, and not only that, he actually slowed this guy down too, because he cut right in front of him.
Well, that can be discussed in the film room with those guys.
Yeah, that was tough because he was in the right position to start the play, but he got out of position.
And then he whiffed. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a whiff. You got to at least change his angle, bump a note, do something. That was just.
Yeah. So that was bad, but that was not the end of the bad. There was still lots more bad. Lots more bad coming up. So
I'm thinking therapy right now.
All right.
I think there's a lot of fans started packing up their souvenirs, their bags, and everything else, and started thinking,
Okay, but in hindsight, we know that this ends well. So we may not need therapy, but still, we got to go through it.
Yeah, but you might be opening up some scars in Brother Arthur.
That's true.
I knew this could happen.
So this one here was painful. So he was targeting McInnes, who was solid, but it was a poorly thrown ball.
Well, I think he got hit as he let it go?
Let's see.
Regardless, it's a cover 2 zone.
He got the ball out before the hit.
Cover 2 zone. Why are you throwing that? And the way it's, how you're throwing it.
Yeah.
You're not hitting a seam.
Nope.
So
this is if it's man coverage, I get it with a cover 1 man on the side, but you cover 2 zone.
Did Vernon not see the underneath guy, or did he think that guy was taken by Hollins?
I mean, they're dropping 7 into pass protection. They're only rushing 4, right?
Yeah, he left Hollins, and if Vernon had saw Hollins, that's a first down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he left Hollins to go with the deep guy.
Well, when he saw that, Vern was aiming this way, then he left Hollins. But Hollins might have been able to make a first down here. And who's this? Is this Coutoy?
Yeah, Hollins is at the first down line. The first down is the 40. And there's another one. Oh, no, there's coverage on the guy way on the far side there, top of the screen. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. So anyway.
Use your feet. Right? You can go on the outside, and I think Smoke was trying to get outside, and he tried to do that rub there, Roland.
Oh, did he?
On
the chip?
Oh yeah. He missed.
Yeah,
he kind of missed, but
he missed big time.
But I'll give him
this
effort.
one, he should have just went and gave Vernon an option, but it's 2nd and 5.
No, by the time he gets out to where he is, Vernon's getting pasted, and ball's gone.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know. I think the game, you're down 5 points. It's still lots of time in the game. 2nd and 5. Why? I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Did he
that's not
think
his
McInnes
fault.
could win the 50-50 ball?
If it's a man on man, but he's got to know it's zone coverage,
Yeah.
unless they disguised it.
He
But
could
this
have.
is the worst pass defense in the CFL by statistics.
But you wouldn't have known it by that few
Yeah.
series.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, but I mean, when you lose the war in the trenches, bad things happen.
Yep.
Yeah. But this is just bad decision making.
I mean, he underthrew it anyways,
Yeah,
right?
it
Because
was-
it's the under DB that actually caught the ball.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fluttering. That looked like a good spiral. He just, yeah. So the hit really didn't affect it at all.
Yeah.
That's a good spiral. Just not enough. Well, he puts too much zip, then the deep guy gets it, right?
Well,
if it's closer
if
to
you-
the outside.
I think if he's deeper, then McInnes has a better chance, right?
Yeah. If it was closer to the sidelines, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, tough. But Ottawa capitalizes on it. So, you know, they march it down. No,
That was worth a ticket. Price of admission right there.
yeah, I love this play. So it still ends up in a touchdown. We stopped them on the 1 yard line. It's a first and goal on the 1 yard line. But I wanna play this again because
Sales got knocked out of the game too.
did he?
Was it that play that knocked him out? Because I thought I saw him in for a few more series after this.
I think maybe the spotter.
Oh, maybe yeah. So
Did he hit him with the shoulder? Yeah, he hit him shoulder in the chest, right?
yeah,
See, now that's when you torpedo a tackle that way, when you're up where you can hit body.
yeah,
I'm okay with that kind of torpedo because his head's up, he sees where he is, and he goes across him. Versus at him, you know what I mean?
yeah.
For those young football players out there.
Yeah, but I mentioned this to you guys after the game. I think to me there were a few turning points, and this was not like a major turning point, but it was one turning point for us because that hellacious hit energized the crowd, and it energized the defense. So. You know, we still gave up some points after this. We gave up a touchdown, but I think this was the beginning. There were a couple more turning points later that I wanted to talk about, but this one was one of them. We've always talked about, you know, if you're going to tackle hard, right? And this one I think helped to start building that energy with the team, which they should have had, you know, throughout the game. But I think this hit here, so.
Well, like Coach Campbell said, you know, we were waiting for something to happen.
Yeah.
Well, give credit to Marcus Sales. And you know what? I'm so happy Marcus Sales is following us now, got us on his Insta. But that was Marcus Sales trying to make something happen. Yeah. And Arthur and I were not much farther down the sideline than that hit. And boy, you could hear it. And that gave me the fuzzies hearing that hit. That was football.
Like
clean hit, hard hit.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, the fans got into it. Even the announcers, Farhan, when I was listening to this, Farhan and Dwayne Suter was like, whoa, they were energized too, and they loved it. And, you know, I mean, it's a physical game. Football is a physical game. And, you know, let's be honest, we love to see these types of plays, right? So.
And credit to the Ottawa guy. He got up after that.
Yeah.
Again, Leal's Legion, we're Leal's fans first, but we're CFL fans a close second because this league is awesome and we need all the teams playing well.
Yeah. So first and goal.
See, we gotta posterize that. That's posterizing for Marcus Sales right there.
It
That's
is.
a great shot.
I took a screenshot of this already, so I'm going to use this as the thumbnail for this post.
We're coming for you, Marcus Sales.
Yeah, exactly this. You know, with 14 and Sales, and you see the helmet in the air there. So Ottawa, first and goal, they get a touchdown, and then we get the ball back, and the very next play, this happens.
This is therapy.
This
Okay,
where Arthur needs therapy.
Okay, get a drink. Oh, that was awful.
You know, right after an interception, the very next play, Vern throws another interception. And
So maybe there was too much energy that Vernon had after that sales hit.
Oh, but this is just, I mean, okay, these are offensive linemen and receivers. You're not expecting them to make a tackle, but this was embarrassing.
yeah, I kind of feel bad for. I can't see the number.
That's Andrew Pearson.
Okay, I mean
He's not going to run a guy. I mean, give him credit. He's giving it a try.
He made an effort, but yeah, it's just not too much. Yeah, what's that, inertia? Too much.
Yeah, I mean, that's offensive lineman bulk going in one direction. They're not gonna catch a shifty guy. They're meant to push a guy out of the way, not catch a shifty guy.
Yeah. So that's 2 touchdowns back to back on interceptions. So now we get the ball back again.
That's 2 straight throws.
Yeah.
Arthur, you and I believe, developed a new vocabulary after that second interception that went for a touchdown. I think we had some new words.
I'm drawing a blank. That whole third quarter, man, I was shaking my head for almost the whole third quarter.
Are those words that can't be repeated? Is that what you mean? On air?
Yeah, it's a family show. We got Leo's legions that are below the age of majority. We'll keep it a family show. Keep it G-rated.
All right.
Greg, I don't think you ever saying anything on this with us. Mind you, I wasn't really. I was just shaking my head. I was like, "What is going on?" Yeah. Anyways.
All right. So then, our next offensive drive again. So this is the next play after 2 straight interceptions, and I was really nervous at this point for Adams because that's two picks in a row. But actually, he did okay. Went back to McInnes, his go-to guy for this game, and got 10 yards. So I said, not bad. And then next one was to Mizell. And look at that. So another, not bad play. Up to Mizell, and then. Who's this guy? Is this our left tackle or left guard? I can't really see the number.
It's probably the guard. It's probably the guard.
Let's see if we can see where he lines up. It is a left tackle. So
that's Broxton.
Yeah, I love this.
Love it.
He seals the edge, and that springs Mizell. So, like our run game. All it takes is one key block that makes the play, right? One key block, and if you spring Mizell, he can do the rest, right? Like I mentioned before, even if you're running inside, if we have a key block there, he can get the first 3-4 yards on that first block, right?
Well, when you're passing 90% of the time, they're probably not keying the line.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, right? So, I mean, yeah, it's one good block, but I'm sure Ottawa was pure in pass protection, stopping the pass.
Well, hey, they've picked off the quarterback twice. I'm sure they figure they can get it again.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole game, we were close, but when you let a inferior team hang around, then that's when that belief starts to creep in. They get that confidence, and now we're down by, the heavily favored team is down by what, 19? Ottawa's just thinking, we can do what we want now.
Yeah. So then
they weren't heavily favored by me.
That's true. Our in-house prognosticator.
So later on this drive, it's 2nd and 10. Adams can't find any open receivers, scrambles, and runs for 20 yards, and then goes head first here.
Yeah.
Why?
So he's shaking his head here. So the spotter actually took him out. So
well, he went down. He went down like he was trying to walk up the field because this was change of end.
Yeah.
And he was down on the field, knee down on the field.
Okay. Did he go down, or did the spotter come out and ask him to go down?
I think he went down. There's no way this. I mean, I just don't think the spotter can make the call that quickly. But I mean, it's hard to know, right?
Yeah.
We just noticed that when they're changing ends, there was a Lion player who was down, and then up comes number 3 when he was on the knee.
Yeah.
You wonder why he didn't slide feet first. He had the first down and more. Like, it's not like he was battling for a yard or two.
No.
I mean, he
He
had
already
the first down.
he already had the first down. Just it seemed like he had indecision. Inside, outside, and then he went straight ahead and banged his head against the guy's shoulder.
That's almost shoulder to hit. Yeah, I mean,
like you could have went anywhere. That was like the worst thing you could have done. Could have just slid.
I guess he was battling for, an extra yard.
Well, I guess the previous 2 series he threw an interception, so he probably wants to make amends.
Yeah.
But you got to stay upright.
yeah, he took himself out of the game. Kind of killed the mo of this drive.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. So it's the end of the quarter, and this third quarter. So 27-16 first downs. Rushing yards were up to 60 because 20 of those was from that last play there.
But hey, they've only gone up 12. So we won the third quarter rushing battle. They went up 12. We went up 53.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Trying to find some positives here.
Yeah. But
Digging deep, man. Digging deep. I love it.
Digging really deep.
But score-wise is bad. 37-18.
Well, Arthur said, look at the telling stats at the halftime. It was like second down conversions was the telling stat.
Yeah.
Now the telling stat is turnovers and points off them.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so then we go into the final quarter. So Evans is in the game because they were doing the protocol with Vern Adams.
Yeah.
So
They knew that pass was coming. I mean, that run was
yeah,
coming. That's for sure.
nowhere to go. We lost.
They're not gonna. The core backup's not gonna launch a pass right off the bat, right? First play into the game, cold.
Exactly. Yeah. But again, our O-line, they need to know. They know they need to get to. They need this play, and they couldn't do it, right? So.
And they're all standing there looking down at the running back who was tackled for a loss because every guy they should have blocked is walking away celebrating 5 yards into your backfield.
So, guys, this is after the sales hit. This is after Vernon trying his best, going head first, trying to get extra yards.
Yep.
The next play, this is what happened. So you have to ask yourselves, who's got the tough attitude in this offense? Who's gonna make a difference? Like, the war in the trenches is like critical in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you need to, hey, your leader went down because he went head first, trying to get extra yards. Or, you can say, he's indecisive, should have made a smarter play. But he laid his body on the line, and we're just asking you to lay your body on the line, and guess what happened?
Yeah.
Speaking of bodies, Roland, can you back that up a bit? And again, I'm going to borrow a line out of Don Cherry. For all you young offensive linemen out there, again, I've said it a billion times already. You know the play, you know the snap count. You know this is a running play. Watch the whole offensive line to a man. Watch how vertical they get when they come off that ball. They don't even move a yard off that line of scrimmage. Look at, and they're all upright. Ottawa's got the low angle on every one of our O-linemen. That should not happen on a running play.
I mean, this is happening too often.
It is.
Way too often.
It's got to be coaching, don't you think, Greg?
Mr. Bates, I'm talking to you. I mean, this is fundamental football, though. On a run play, you are aiming for that chest plate of the shoulder pad. Those Ottawa linemen have hit the chest plate of all of the linemen that knew the snap count and know it's a run.
Yeah. And actually,
You should be a yard or two off that line of scrimmage because you know the snap count.
actually here, the right tackle let this guy go. So if you look at
See the cushion on the top receiver? That's 10 yards.
Yep.
yeah, but
And
here,
does he back off more once that receiver starts to run?
Well, this should be a run-pass option. Just give it to the guy up top. I don't know who he is, but that's 10 yards, man. You get at least 5 yards.
so I want to show you guys this. You see the right tackle?
Yep.
He goes and double teams with the right guard on that guy, while allowing this guy to come in untouched. And it's he who breaks up the play, right? He's right there.
Wow.
Mizell, goes out and then this guy makes a tackle. Right?
Well, that's the other guy that busted up, like did a bull rush and took the lane right out.
Yeah, because that's Pearson down there. That's Pearson driven back 3 yards.
Yeah. But if this guy wasn't here, Mizell could have taken it out this way, right?
He could have bounced it out, yeah.
So,
but I mean, if Pearson did his block properly, they might have gotten 7 yards.
But maybe Mizell was supposed to bounce outside to where that big cushion is, right? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe that was a play call.
I mean, they're pulling to the left, right? You see what they're doing? They're pulling to the left.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense to let this guy come in untouched.
Well, if he's the back's pursuit, that's fine because you're
supposed to be going away from him.
Yeah,
but we didn't move anybody. But in that we're pulling, but we didn't take anybody with us.
Look, the handoff is on Vern's right. If they really wanted to let him go, then the handoff should be on his left.
Well, maybe they should have pitched it, and then Mizell should have been on Evans' left, and they pitched it to him.
Yeah, he's on Evans' right. Yeah, Roland's right. He's basically he's taking off. The beginning of his run is into the path of the guy coming free.
Yeah. But I think it's the receiver that should have rubbed that DN a little bit longer.
The receiver just took off to take the halfback.
So it doesn't need to be. Didn't need to.
Exactly.
Right?
So I don't know if this may not be execution. This may be a combination of schemes too, right? Like, if you're gonna hand off to the right of the quarterback, why is this guy untouched? Like the right tackle was right in front of him, and he let him go, and that receiver, like you said, let him go too. So that was by design that he was not going to be touched. And if the ball is on the right side of the quarterback, he's right there. It doesn't make sense. So,
question: was it supposed to be a counter, and maybe he wasn't supposed to? Maybe he's supposed to take a jab step to the right, but then maybe that's Evans too. Evans isn't getting the reps with these guys. Is it a blown play?
I think it's Pearson's guy who he lost that.
Yeah, definitely Pearson lost.
That was the critical thing. I think if Pearson didn't get blown up there, I think Mizell can beat that DN in pursuit and got up.
And gotten around to the 20-yard mark at the top of the screen.
Yeah, and then beat it.
Yeah.
But it just seemed like a lot of things were off, right? Pearson got blown up big time. Maybe Evans, Mizell, that handoff's a little slow. Yeah. And that receiver should have rubbed the D end.
Because
a little longer.
If he does take the handoff to Evans' left, then Pearson getting blown up doesn't really make a difference because he's already going on the proper angle of the handoff. But because he's got to get around Evans, and now Pearson's blown up, now he's got to get around him. Versus if he took the handoff on the left, he's already going in the proper direction at a better angle.
But Greg, you're a middle linebacker. You're mirroring the running back, right?
Yeah.
The position on the field. If you're too much to the left, guess where the middle linebacker is going to be lined up?
No, but I'm just saying if he took the handoff to the left,
I understand. He would have got not blown up by Pearson's guy, but then the middle linebacker is closer to you. So you're trying to, you'll see like there's an O lineman trying to take on the linebackers in the second. You see they're engaging right there.
Yep. And
so if Mizell is too much to the left, that O lineman won't be able to get to that linebacker. This is what I'm saying. I think there's a couple things, but I hear what you're saying. But I think there's a reason why they had Mizell on Evans' right.
Okay, let's go to the next play. So that was Evans' first touch. This is Evans' second touch. And again,
the scar.
The left tackle let his guy through, and
that was. But then even
the left guard too. Yeah.
I think
my lord, where'd that guy? Who had that guy?
That was the left
center
guard.
had that guy.
And Mizell, actually 3 guys. He went through 3 guys.
Well, Mizell should have chipped in here. I think the left. So he beat the left guard there, and even though he beat the left guard's still looking this way. Like is he expecting the center to maybe take him?
And Mizell just ran right by him.
And Mizell should see that he's coming, and he still lets him go.
Unless he was supposed to be the receiver up for this ball.
I doubt it.
Yeah, but
I mean, I think if that's the case, Evans would draw back a little bit more to sell it, and then like coax him in, and then you
could be
screen.
yeah, but
I just don't think this isn't set up to be a screen to me.
But even if he is the primary target, if you see the guy blowing through like that, you got to stop him and let the quarterback choose the secondary target, because otherwise the quarterback's going to be nailed, right? So as the running back, even if you're the primary target, but you see some guy blowing through, you got to stop him and give the quarterback a chance to get it to the second guy, right? The secondary target.
But this is the CFL. The quarterback has to buy time with his feet. If you see it breaking down, you gotta realize it and sprint. Like, I think
he's already tucked the ball and waiting to get hit.
Yeah, so he's got to think on his feet. He's got to escape. It's just a little too late. Mind you, he didn't think that the end would have got him.
Yeah.
He was probably more concerned about the interior lineman coming at him.
Yeah.
And then,
well, because I guess he figures Broxton still got the tackle still got that end until here.
Yeah, but he got manhandled here.
So now all he sees is a sea of red and white coming at him anyway.
Yeah. So not a good series for Evans, but.
See,
I'm saying it might not have been a screen, Arthur. I mean, if Mizell is supposed to get out,
it's on a
sorry,
screen. 100%, it's on a screen.
But maybe it was supposed to be a running back. I don't know, but either way, it didn't work, and it resulted in not what we were hoping.
Yeah,
I think he's looking in the end zone.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, he probably is. So we give the ball up. Or no, I think we got a field goal out of this one, right? We got a field goal.
Yep.
And then Ottawa's ball now. And let's take a look at this.
So this is when the Lions D stiffened up.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of tackles for losses.
Yeah.
And
this is the kind of run defense we would like to have seen from the get-go.
Yeah. So at this point, so I think the key play here was this one here. He didn't make the tackle. Was that Banks, I think?
That's Banks.
Yeah, he didn't make the tackle, but he pushed the running back backwards, and then that
slowed his progress.
Yeah,
and then you're buying time.
Allowed all of our guys to rally and tackle him for a loss.
I remember this was happening pretty much right in front of us, and man, the speed that these guys move at is uncanny. You can tell when you're that close. Can't see the plays developing, but man, you can see the speed and the size.
Yeah.
But I was like, can somebody make a tackle? Can somebody? And Arthur's going, Greg, relax. He's going backwards. Relax. I'm thinking all I'm seeing is all these guys missing down, and he's going to go back the other way and score or something. Yeah. That's all I can see in my head.
Well, Greg, if he is not being tackled because he's spinning back and giving up even more yards, that's why it's harder to tackle him. Like, if I'm trying to go forward, but I keep running backwards, you're not tackling me, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I know. There's this gut-wrenching feeling in me that he's just going to keep going and then eventually go back against the grain because all these lines are laying on the ground. Unless his backward spin.
He, like, pulls up and throws it downfield to an open receiver.
Oh, I don't know. I would just end this play, please. And Arthur's like, relax.
Yeah. But you see, we've been really hard on our run defense. But look what Banks does here. So he's engaged his guy here, and he manages to shed his block. So he looks over the left, he looks over the left shoulder. He sees the handoff, and he sheds his guy right there. That's exactly
a big gap.
Because I think he was supposed to go through that gap. Yeah. That looked like it parted like the Red Sea for a second.
So
it looked massive. I'm sure the running back's eyes lit up like, wow, look at that.
Because both linebackers split. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
I know.
So Banks sees the handoff happening. He knows that the offensive lineman is pushing him that way. And so he uses that guy's momentum to shed him, and he cancels the gap right here. So now
then the linebackers close.
Yeah, that gap's canceled. And then he almost makes a tackle, but he pushes him back, and that's enough. And that's exactly what we need for run defense, right? Just gap cancellation.
And then Varga, I thought, oh no, bad angle. But Arthur was right. Relax.
I think he's going backwards. I mean, if he went forward, Varga would have got him.
Yeah, I figured he'd spin out of that and run back the other. I don't know. I was just like freaking out because the game was where it was at. I'm just like, nothing's going right for this defense.
Yeah. So
until this point.
So this next play is what I would call the second mini turning point. So the first mini turning point for me was that hellacious hit by Sales, and
By
then
Marcus Sales, number 14.
yes, and then the second mini turning point was when the crowd suddenly got into it. So
That crowd was left.
yeah, but it was loud because
It was.
because here Ottawa takes a time count. Clock runs down to 0. They take a time count.
It's 2 in a row, right?
Yeah. So
I think it was procedure, then a time count.
so time count first, and then in the next one, it was procedure. So this is the next one.
Oh, that 5 yards was from a loss. The lost tackle. That's right.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
right. So here they're, this tight end, I guess, jumps. So again, that's because of the crowd, right? So the crowd played a big factor here. So I think that's the second mini turning point. And then the play after this was beautiful. So they need to punt the ball away, 3rd and 19, and it was partially blocked by number 23, Adrian Green. Partially blocked. So ball goes up in the air. Defenders don't know where the ball is. It just lands right there, and one of the Ottawa players just jumps on it. Takes a no yards.
I think every flag in the building came out on that one. They were like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's right, man.
So-
just in case you guys didn't know.
But do you think is it wise for him to take a no yards? Taking no yards, the ball's dead. There's no chance of a return.
Well, you back up, and you back up, and then maybe there's more Lions there because maybe the the coverage team's already downfield, right? So
Yeah. Because
and you know what? You're ahead. You're ahead by 16 points.
Yeah.
So you don't give them an opportunity to have a return on special teams, Greg.
Yeah, because he had no hesitation on bouncing, on jumping onto the ball. No hesitation at all, right?
Yeah, I think you do it because then look at how many Red Blacks are ahead of the ball.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah.
Yeah. So
how many are behind? And there's a lot of Lions behind him.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of space between that ball and whatever Red Blacks are behind. I think that's what their coach. If it's a block, just kill the ball, and and again, our offense hasn't been that intimidating to them up till this point anyway. Maybe hold them to a field goal with our no yards call. But I think that's coach.
The backup quarterback is in right now.
Yeah, just kill the ball.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think they're afraid.
Yeah. Okay. So they take. Was this a 5 yard or a 15 yard no yards?
No, it's bouncing, so it'd be a 5.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, that's a no brainer. It's only 5.
Yeah. All right. So there's a replay here. Let's just play that.
Richie Leone, ex-Lion.
Yeah. He didn't get too much on it. I think it just hit 2 of his fingers.
Oh, fingers.
Yeah,
just enough.
His fingers kind of bent backwards.
That's got a smart.
Yeah. But that was enough.
Better yet, he didn't contact the kicker on the way through, but he got ball first anyway.
Yeah. All right. So then we get the ball back. So
Vernon's
1st and 10. Yeah, Vernon's 40 yards. Where did they stop the ball? Was that 10 yards? I thought. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, he killed it about the.
Yeah, it's like a 5-year play.
Yeah,
Okay.
he killed it about between the 50 and the 45 somewhere.
All
there.
right. Okay, so this next play here, Vern throws to Whitehead. So beautiful. So many targets to Whitehead this game.
Yeah, we heard that catch too.
Yeah.
That hit Whitehead with a lot of velocity.
So 19 yards. And then a few plays later, it's 3rd and 8. So we gamble here, 3rd and 8. And we had no choice. We got to gamble, right?
16 points, 9 minutes left.
And we don't make it. So
I think this was the next mass exodus after that.
I think there was some people that left our section at that point. Why don't you just throw it in the end zone?
yeah,
Don't take the hit. Throw it in the end zone. Maybe you get PI, like something happens.
Yeah.
Because if they catch it in the end zone, right,
Comes
it'll
out to
come
the
out.
20, 25.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to make the first down,
Yeah.
right? The way it's going. So why don't you just throw in the end zone? I would have just threw it in the end zone if it's any kind of like a 50-50 or even 35% chance.
Yeah,
like 1 in 3.
Yeah, at this
I'd
point,
throw it up.
like after.
Maybe he doesn't want to risk a pick anymore already. He's already had 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
'Cause-
no, that's another one's coming. So, sorry, spoiler alert.
It's okay. You can spoil it. The game's over.
Oh, okay.
So, so we lose possession, and
Poor
then
decision making.
I think we get a 2 and out on this next or the next drive. So then we have the ball again, and I was looking at the time, 6 minutes, and I was telling the 2 new guys that there's still a chance, right? 6 minutes.
Slim one, but still a chance.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's still a chance. And then
Until you do this.
yeah. So at this point, Ron, one of my 2 friends, looks at me and says, "Is there really still a chance?"
This is where, Greg, if you remember, a lot of people just started leaving in our section.
Yeah. They're just hopping the wall.
Yeah, our section too. There were lots of people leaving.
They were like,
And I don't blame them, because at this point I was starting to lose hope.
starting.
Yeah, I had hope until this point.
Well, you did say they're going to go 6-0, so
I know, but
I want to know what's in that drink of yours, man.
I'm looking at the score here, and with the 3rd interception, I was thinking, I really want to believe, but it's tough, right? I didn't lose all hope, but I was starting to lose hope.
Well, I was thinking, I predicted 5-1 for the home stretch. Here's the 1. This game is the 1. And I'm like, well, winning 5 straight after this is going to be tough.
Yeah. So then they get the ball back, and this is what happens.
Another tackle for a loss.
Yeah, another tackle for a loss. So suddenly our run defense, improved.
So when you know they're going to be ready to kill the clock.
Yeah, so we have it in us, right? We have the capability to do it. We're fired up now. So to me, it's just a matter of heart rate. When you're fired up, you can make the plays. But when you're not fired up, when you come out flat, then you're not going to get it done.
Well, it helps when their offensive coordinator, Kahari Jones, calls an extremely conservative offensive game plan in the 4th quarter.
And Campbell did say in his post game, the coach's comments was, they were trying to get the right fronts. They were trying to find the personnel who wanted to stop the run. Mm-hmm. That was a big hint to me. Wouldn't every guy on that line want to stop the run?
Exactly. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. But Arthur, you don't think this is the right play call for Ottawa?
For the Red Blacks? No, I mean overall.
Okay.
Overall, they're way too conservative.
Well, they're now playing just to maintain the lead and kill the clock, right? Playing not to lose.
So you mean?
Yeah, playing not to lose. Yeah, but I mean this is the deal with the Red Blacks is they've been in so many close games. They go conservative play calling, and then it bites them because the teams come back at the end of the game and beat them. They've lost so many close games this year, the Red Blacks. So although they have the worst record in the CFL, it's very misleading. They actually play teams pretty tough.
Yeah. But can you blame them? 37-21, I would be calling conservative calls. So I just want to kill the clock, right?
You can do a little play action. You can do a little dump pass like you've been doing all game long that they've been getting. But they ran very well in the first half. In
Yeah.
the third quarter, it was like it wasn't the run game that was propelling them in the third quarter.
It's their passing game.
It was their passing game, and of course they had a pick six. So went away from that, and they've been kind of stale in the run for a quarter. So I don't know. I mean, one play, yeah, okay, they're gonna. He's trying to go off tackle. I mean, the Lions did it, but Lions have gotten a lot of. Although the score is not there, but their defense is stiffened up.
Yeah.
In the fourth quarter, so this is over halfway through the first. This is like 2/3 in the fourth quarter, and their D has stiffened.
Yeah.
Like our D has stiffened.
Yeah.
And shut down their run. So at this point, I'd throw a wrinkle. But anyways.
Yeah. Well, next play, our D stiffens up too, and we get a sack. So I think there was some confusion on their part too. So that kind of helped. But still, look at all the black jerseys there.
There's a lot of energy now.
Yeah, a lot of energy. So that's feeding in from the crowd. But I love that they got the energy up. But my counter to that is they should have been able to get the energy on their own without the crowd. They can't depend on the crowd to pump them up, right?
If they had come out with this kind of defense in the beginning of the game and smacked Ottawa in the mouth, that crowd would have been energetic with twice the amount of people that were left at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Then it would have been a nice synergistic energy feed, right?
Yeah.
The thing is, they knew Ottawa was not
Well, actually, they surprised us later. I think later they do go for a pass. Later on. So we got the ball back. 2nd and 4. To McInnes. Look at that effort. Stiff arm and gets another 8 yards. 8 yak yards.
Very good. 2:49 left.
Yeah. 2:49 left.
So that last offensive play for Ottawa was like 5 something. And this is like 2.5 minutes later.
Yeah.
And then the BC just driving the ball slowly down the field.
Yeah.
I guess Vernon had to get into some kind of rhythm, right?
Yeah, that's right. So we get to this play. To McInnes. Yeah, beautiful. Catches it on the high point. And we get a touchdown. So at this point, hope was starting to come back to me. Here's a replay.
Good on you, Roland. Good on you.
I remember saying to Arthur too, again, the seats that we had on the sideline, not great for watching plays develop, but thanks to Uniglobe Travel, I'm going to put a plug in for those guys, Uniglobe Carefree Travel, I got to see up close how smooth Justin McInnes is. Like, I mean, he's tall, but he like glides when he runs, and he's very smooth when he goes up to make that catch. I just wish he was a little more physical once he's got that ball in his hands to just secure it. Because a couple of times in the game he had it, and then that last second knock out of his hands, right, Arthur? Something like that.
Yeah, I think he 12 targets, 8 receptions. So
yeah,
great game though. It's just nice to see him up close and how well he plays, how good he actually is.
Okay, so right after this, makes sense we line up for an onside kick. Onside kick, and this is a very low percentage play, right? So we lose it.
Touch too far.
Yeah, we lose the ball, but.
Well, yeah, I think you're hoping some of your guys take out those hands, guys. But again, like Roland always says, you just outkicked your coverage.
Yeah, because he just needed to go 10 yards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Guy giving Ottawa the ball inside your half of the field.
Yeah, he was about seven yards beyond the 10 yards.
Yeah, if it was little, like 12 yards, then.
Yeah. All right, so they get the ball with good field position, and again our defense stiffens up here. So we get the ball back, and then they they're at. This was a stupid. I hate to say it, but a really stupid call by Ottawa. They were still up by 10 points. I was expecting them to punt, and when I saw the field goal formation, I was wondering, that's a huge risk, right?
And well, he's made two longer than that.
He did
tonight.
He did, and I was thinking, but he did make it so, but it's still a risk. But the universe just lined up all the atoms for us, and and it was a missed field goal. And
well, I would say coming into this game,
yeah.
Do you fear the Lions' return?
No. Oh, sorry.
So, it really, honestly, is there much fear? Because he's right. So there's no risk, right? Coming into this game, like knowing what's you've seen. So you're 10 points down. 10 points up. So you kick a field goal, you're up 13. So you're taking away the improbable. I score a touchdown with a minute 45 left, and then I onside kick it, and then I can kick a field goal to tie. So you kick a field goal, then you're saying, okay, BC, you got to score two touchdowns in then minute 45, right?
So you are defending, you're supporting Dice's decision.
I'm just saying, okay, I'm just giving. I wouldn't have kicked the field goal. Like, honestly, no way. Like 145, why would you give them a chance to return a longer? If it's a 15-yard field goal, okay, right? But this is from the 42, and it's a 49-yard field goal. Yeah. So, although he's made long field goals, it's still a bit of a risk. But I could see why he went that way. I wouldn't have done it. Number one, they've lost a lot of close games, Ottawa, right? So they didn't want to be in the position that they're going to lose this game.
Yeah. So, that makes sense, right? That makes sense.
But I would not have kicked a field goal, for sure, 100%. Not a 49-yard field goal. There's no way.
Go ahead, Greg.
No, you go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I understand, they want to be aggressive. They want to rack up the points and make it much harder for BC. But on the flip side, if they do a punt and they pin us down within our 10 or 15 yards, then they're forcing us to march down the field. And with 144 left, it's going to have to be a miracle, right? To get 10 points with 144 if we have to march down the field. With a field goal, even if he doesn't get even if he doesn't bring it all the way back, maybe he'll take it out to the 30 to 40 yard line. That gives them a little bit more space. Or it could have been blocked. Like the previous field goal was already partially blocked. Right? If that was blocked.
Punt, you mean?
Oh yeah, the punt. Yeah. So
when we're sitting at that game, I had my head down. I'm going. I already gave them the 3. I gave Ottawa the 3.
Okay.
and then Arthur all of a sudden goes, "It's wide," and I look up and I'm like everybody else. There was some excitement, but I thought it's wide. Great, Terry Williams get it out to the 3. Big deal. That's exactly what I thought, because we've had missed field goals, and we're the only team that doesn't seem to get it outside the 5 when you got to outrun old linemen.
Yes. And
right there, I thought, okay, so we get out to the 3, big deal. But then, if you let it run, Mr. Williams must have heard this podcast. He took a vector. Watch right there. He's taking a vector. Angle beats the corner guy, and now, I'm not saying I called this, but at least he took a vector out of the end zone and got it to, I figured, at least a 25.
Yeah. This was a beautiful run.
Yes. All credit to Terry Williams.
I'm with you. I didn't get excited either when he caught the ball. I only got excited after somewhere around here. When
I figured that's where he was going to get tackled, right there, 25-30, and it's okay. They don't get a long field.
Like after this guy lunged, after this guy lunged at him and he stayed in bounds, then I got excited. And sure enough, he actually made it all the way back.
So what happens if someone from the sidelines, from the Redbacks, just goes and trips up Williams?
Well,
it's a flag. It's 15 yards.
That's happened in a Grey Cup.
Yep.
So why didn't they do that?
Well,
Like someone who's on like the bench runs in and just trips him because he's right on the sideline.
I mean,
That's really poor sportsmanship.
yeah, exactly.
But
They're lost 6 in a row.
yeah. Okay, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. I get it, but that's kind of
That's
next
within
level.
the rules, right? I mean, there's a rule for that, right? I mean, what are they going to do?
And as I gotta say this, like like Roland says, when that last guy makes a lunge and Terry Williams still in bounds, but then again, everybody around me is excited. I'm like, go, go, go! But then I'm scouting for flags, the illegal block in the back, holding anything. I'm thinking, no.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, knowing how this game was going to go, there was going to be a flag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I was looking around, no flag.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you see Lucky Whitehead on that stripe. Does he get NFL? He's flagged for that.
If he's on the stripe?
Yep, he's flagged for that.
Well, CFL officiating, that's all I can say.
Well, I don't know if that's a rule. I'm just saying if you step, because if you look at the NFL, there's that white band, then there's the black mat that's on the sideline.
So that
if
was
you were
close.
stepping on that white line, that's why there's that real dark color. It's a penalty. So I don't know if it's a penalty in the CFL.
I don't know.
But number one, go ahead, Roland.
I mean, I don't blame him for being excited, but yeah, he needs to be careful.
Oh, don't worry. NFL, there's no returns on a missed field goal.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, BC, too many men on the field, number 7, like get up. But again, you don't see that during the game that you're in. I mean, I'm seeing this now, but I'm just like, wow.
You're not seeing a missed field goal return for a touchdown.
No. Which is why I like this game much better.
Yeah, but this really breathed life into the Lions.
You think?
Yes. So this was my third mini turning point. It's another angle from field level.
This is not just a mini turning point. This is a
major,
massive turning point.
Yeah. At this point, the crowd was so loud that they had to put offense in action because the crowd was really into it. Whoever was left, right?
Do you see the look on Terry Williams' face? That's not exhaustion. That's worry. He's looking for a flag.
I think in the post game interview, he was saying the reporter asked him, what was in your mind? And he said, I was just thinking, I gotta make a play for the team. So that was awesome, right? Every single player needs to have that attitude, right? You're down, but you still gotta make a play for the team. And so kudos to him, right?
Well, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. But if he runs into a crowd, he gets whacked or stripped. What were you thinking, Terry? Going into I was just trying to make a play for the team. Same mentality, right? Same mentality, but it just worked out that he was not going to be denied. So it's that mentality, like you said, Ro, plus that extra that you said these guys have needed, and he had that extra.
Yeah.
Well, when a team is in a 6-game losing streak, good teams, you guys can know the saying, good teams find a way to win. Losing teams find a way to lose.
Yeah.
Can I throw this question out to my 3 down bros, or do you want to do this in the wind up?
Depends on the question.
Was this the bad team finding a way to lose? Or was this the Lions being a good team and they found a way to win? Because I saw a ton of posts out there in the social media world that, come on, why is everybody complaining? The Lions pulled this win off. The Lions showed that they're an elite team, that they could pull a win out of the fire no matter what. And I'm thinking it's Ottawa. So I personally think it's the bad team that found a way to lose. We were more lucky than we were good to win this game.
Of course, they had scored 37 points. I got 7 from a pick 6. But then in the fourth quarter, nothing. Their play, they're a conservative play calling. The Lions racked up a lot of offense in the fourth quarter. Yeah, they're playing desperation, but and then you miss a field goal and then you let that happen. I mean, I think you could say, I would say poor coaching and poor execution on Ottawa, and maybe they're like, it's, and you lose so many games in a row, you're like, and then they're within 10. You wouldn't think, I mean, 10 points with a minute and 46
Still
left.
tough.
You're kicking a field goal. You should
It's tough.
feel pretty. Well, you shouldn't like your chances,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
But now, okay, what happens? I mean, still, after all this, you're still up 3, and it's like a minute 40 left,
Yeah,
and they're kicking off to you.
exactly. So you got the ball. It's still
You
in your
got the
court.
ball. You just need to make 1 first down.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, 1, maybe 2, 1 first down, depending on what kind of plays you call.
Oh, let's find out the play. I'm sure Roland's got one keyed up.
Yeah. So first play in this drive.
They took the ball, right, Arthur? We didn't kick it off, or did we? No, we kicked off, didn't we?
We must have kicked off. It was 120 left.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Stuffaroo.
Again, a tackle for a loss.
And who made that? Was that Sione, or was that?
That was to Hema.
To him? Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. So, beautiful play. Again, like when you're fired up, things happen, right? When you're fired up, good things happen. And that's what championships do, right? Championship teams are able to, fire themselves up. So I think my criticism of the Lions team here is that they should be able to fire themselves up without the crowd.
Look at that stat there, Roland. With the banner, it says 11 of 13 games for the Redbacks have been decided in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
In the last minute?
3 minutes.
3 minutes, okay.
So they're in every game. But then they get in this complex at the end of the game. The Redbacks must be thinking, okay, something's going to happen against us. So, until you win a game, it's hard to, I'm sure, they're just they're on pins and needles. And, of course, the Lions took full advantage.
Well, I guess that's how the Elk felt for the last 20-something some games, wasn't it?
Home games, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But now they won how many in a row, Greg? I think 2 out of 3 or something like that.
Yeah. I think they've got more wins than Ottawa now. I think they're at 4 wins now.
So,
but this next play.
Actually, I don't have the next play queued up, but what happens is Ottawa goes for a pass, and a deep one at that. I think
yes, to Hardy.
They went for 20, 25 yards, and it was just he had the ball on his fingertips, and
it was underthrown.
Yeah, he couldn't.
If Crum threw that a little bit further, it would have been a catch.
Yeah.
TJ was behind and chasing, but TJ made a good play at the end.
Yeah, he got his hand in there, I think.
But if it was thrown properly, it would have been a completion.
Yeah.
But I was shocked they threw. Absolutely. But hey, you know what? You've been running and you've been getting nothing all quarter. You might as well take the shot, and they went one-on-one with
your prediction for the offseason from our last week's show.
Maybe the DB you might have the most success with.
Well, and I mean, hey, every other team has proven we can be beat deep, correct?
Yeah. Correct. And who they beat?
The DB that we talked about last week.
Most likely. I mean, we're hoping for better things, bigger and better things. But
yeah.
Well, we noticed that. I mean, we're sitting where we were sitting again, great seats for just a different perspective of the game, but they were just looking at that side of the field, were they not, Arthur? Or pretty much any passing play was going to that side. They were not going to Peters and Sales.
Yeah, it's pretty much like Crum would just look at that side, and he's not like throwing off the safety. He is just looking at that one side. So I was like, he's telegraphing it, but at points, Lions couldn't stop it in the third quarter.
But isn't TJ normally on the same size as Peters? This time he was not.
They flip. I noticed they flip, but of course, after Sales was out, they might have switched things around.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't queue up that play, but it was an aggressive play call to pass. Almost made it, but didn't. Then
just needed a little bit of touch. Colares would have put it in there.
Yeah. So then they needed to punt the ball. Goes back to Williams. This one was not as impressive as the previous return, but still pretty good.
On the 33.
Yeah, still
and
pretty
he
good.
got it to the 54.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good punt return. I think they went for the block. What do you think, Greg?
I believe so. We were talking about that on the Sunday. I think I said, "Do you go for the block?" And you looked at the time. You said, "Yeah, you have to."
Yeah, you had to go for the block, and he got 20 yards. Actually 24, with not much of a, not much block set up because they were going for it.
Yeah.
So
he had 3 blockers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And he made. I mean, that's huge. I thought that was.
It is.
I mean, I think he just needed to beat 2 more guys, and he would have been gone.
Yeah.
Well, he said they got that. He said in his post game he tried to get through that last 2 guys. If he could, he just thought if he could get through, he was gone.
So,
yeah, he was close. I don't know, Greg, you would have been beside yourself if he scored a second one in the same game.
This show would have been a lot different.
Yeah, isn't there like $1 million if a two returns return for a touchdown? Isn't that like $1 million?
Oh, the Safeway? I don't know if they're doing that with Save on Foods. you know.
But yeah, so he makes a move on this first guy here.
I think there's 4 guys caught
And
there.
then,
that guy bubbles
and
up.
then,
8.
And then he
got through that layer, and it's 8 guys gone already, and there's 9.
There was a good block here.
Yeah.
They were all good blocks. There's nothing. Yeah, and he just had to get through.
Oh, and Leone's there, but yeah, I mean the pursuit was there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But all in all, you can work with that.
Yeah.
On the 54 with 38 seconds left.
Exactly.
But no timeouts.
So
What do you think too? They go for the block. Now they're in chase mode after all those Ottawa blockers. I mean, you don't dare touch one because you're behind them already.
Yeah.
Got to give them credit that they did not get a flag.
Exactly.
Because they could be amped up like, if we could just bring Terry again. But they got to give them credit. Well, I'm hoping that's coaching because they did not lay a hand on any back.
This block here was perfect, right? I mean, he was behind the player, but he did a side block. But at this point of the game, I was just thinking, okay, we can tie this and go into overtime.
Yep. Overtime, it's anybody's game.
Overtime, and so
I was thinking touchdown, dude.
That quarterback.
39 seconds. You're at half. You're in midfield.
I'm just thinking worst case we tie it. Overtime is anybody's game. I wasn't thinking go for a touchdown. No, I was trying to let's just tie this thing. Be safe.
The first play. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. So
silky smooth.
So first play is this.
So after this play, I'm like touchdown, baby. Right?
Yeah.
33, 34 yard line. I'm like, you're going. Beautiful. I'm going in, and it only took 4 seconds off the clock.
Yeah. Is he in? I know there was a huge challenge.
I know. Like, and I was so nervous here because when they played the replay in the jumbotron, I thought his foot was on the line, but it was inconclusive. Watching the TSN
that's what they said in all the post game stuff. Too close to overturn it.
There was no angle that showed clearly that he was touching the line. He may have been touching the line.
All the bad calls the Lions were getting so far this season.
Yeah, I just wish it came at the expense of Winnipeg, not at poor Ottawa.
Well, hey,
from here it looks like he's on the line. Just to me, it looks like he's on the line from here. But
you needed this win. You needed this win. This would have been a potential death spiral.
Exactly. Yeah. So, at this point, I was when it was being reviewed, I was just scared, right? Because I thought it was out, and secondly, because it was taking so long for the review, I was thinking, we're on ice, right? We're gonna be cold once the review is over.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
So, I thought they were going to overturn it because it was taking so long.
Yeah.
But then there's the official, right? The official has the best shot at it, and he marked it in. So you'd have to have conclusive evidence to overturn.
Yeah. Where is the official? Is he being blocked up by a line player on the sideline?
It's probably to the left, and he'll run in. He'll run in. He let it go. He runs in.
Yeah. There he is. Okay.
Yeah.
And it helps that it was in front of the Lions bench.
Yeah. So I think that was 50-50 and it went our way.
Sure.
So,
Let me get that.
so at this point, I was still going for the for the field goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
And then this play happens.
Lots of time on the clock, man.
So they take a roughing the passer.
What was that?
Like, look at this. He just hits him right across the face, and his head snaps backwards. So, I didn't see the penalty in game, but looking at this, looking at the TSN feed, that's uncalled for. So,
You're trying to get him out of his rhythm.
but that's uncalled for, and
It is. That's stupid, right? Greg?
yeah.
Yeah, was there that well, if you're not trying, well, let's move on.
Anyway,
You don't. I mean, again, you don't touch the quarterback.
No, and I mean at this stage of the game,
Yeah.
do not do any. But again, like you said,
Exactly.
bad teams find a way.
yeah.
That
So he may have lost the game for them, right? Because
Well,
I mean, yeah,
did he?
we
There
don't
was
know.
no call on that though. It was an incomplete pass, wasn't it?
It was.
I don't remember it
I
being
don't remember
roughing
if it was
the- I
incomplete.
don't
Here,
remember.
let's see. Let me just bring it up.
roughing the passer, 15
Okay.
It was.
penalty.
It was a
Yeah,
3-yard pass. 3-yard pass to Mizell. So instead of 3 yards, we got 15.
Oh, okay. No, then it was the next one into the end zone that was incomplete. That's right. Sorry. Yes. Okay.
So that was roughing the passer.
Yeah. So at this point, after this, when we're now on the we're on the 31-yard line, we went down to 16. At this point, I was saying, okay, let's go for the touchdown, go for the kill.
28 seconds left, right?
I'm still thinking field goal
Yeah.
with 28 seconds left.
Oh, really?
Let's see what I think it's
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
I think at this.
They go into the right corner to McInnes, I
Yeah.
think, don't they?
Yeah.
And it's just off his fingers.
So
28 seconds.
28. Yeah. At this point, I
And
was
then
saying
the
go.
clock stops because of the penalty.
Yep.
So the yardage and the clock stops.
So you guys are thinking at least take a shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
28 seconds.
Because 28
first down,
seconds, that's
yeah.
Yeah, because you could at least you should be able to get a field goal to tie for beer.
Yeah,
Yes.
three,
yeah.
4 plays, right? So,
Yeah.
so I was thinking touchdown, go into the end zone, and so this is our first try.
Oh, I just took a bad line. Or is this a poor throw? I don't know.
Yeah, it's on his inside shoulder. If it was on his
Uh,
little bit
but
ahead
wait.
of him,
what do you think, Greg?
From I remember seeing it was near his hands. It wasn't in him, but I'm thinking he made those other two catches with a lot more concentration required than that one.
Yeah.
Because I mean the DB wasn't screening him. The DB wasn't really doing anything to influence him.
Seems like he was just trying to go too fast, and then he just
Yeah, I think he had too much speed to turn to get that
Yeah.
ball. Maybe
versus.
was he expecting it like here? Then he runs out of field maybe because he's got such massive strides too.
Seems like
McInnes.
he was a little too far to the right.
yeah, or maybe the ball should be a little bit more ahead or to the
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Something was off. Just
Yeah.
But the clock stopped. Second down.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I figured, okay, field goal. Let's just kick a field goal.
second down.
Second
No,
down.
I was still saying go for it.
Second down. You're
Yeah,
gonna go for it.
you
You're on the
go for it.
16-yard line.
Go for
No,
it,
no.
and then on
I'm
third
thinking
down.
it's going to become a field goal. It's
Oh,
gonna,
okay.
in my head, I'm like, we're not
Okay.
scoring a major. It's going to be a field goal.
Hey, you 5-1 in the end of the game. You're thinking they can't score a major against this team. They can't.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so next play, this happens.
I was saying Hatcher. You got to go Hatcher right now.
Oh, really?
And then, of course, Greg says, "You got to go to Lucky." And guess what happened?
Yeah, it goes to Lucky. So when the ball,
Did you hear that, number 7? We called your number.
so when the ball was here, my whole section was standing up because we were here, and then we couldn't see because the ball goes under, and we couldn't see at all, and like we're all
could.
standing. We're all
We
standing.
couldn't because everybody in our section left.
That's right, man. We had a good view of that
We
one.
couldn't see. So he caught the ball, and until a split second later, the whole stadium erupts, and then we knew that it was caught.
That poor security guard took a
I
smack,
know,
eh?
she did.
know,
She
I
did.
know.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
She
He
did.
just absorbed that.
Yeah.
Poor lady.
So
And she stayed standing.
yeah. So I got a different angle here.
So like once it was a corner pattern. Once he broke in Vernon Brooks just sent it deep in the corner.
Yeah, so that was a beautiful catch.
So I mean, that's again a low risk, because if Whitehead doesn't get it, then no one gets it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
Because then he read the defense and he just took, it was kind of like a fake post, and then he just cuts it into the corner. Which I like those patterns.
Yeah.
And he bounced pretty hard, but he hung on to that ball.
Yeah, this is beautiful. And I mean, Ottawa must be feeling like a dagger through the heart at this point. And I listened to one of the post-game radio shows in Ottawa, and every single caller was just like, they were so dejected. Right?
Why did you get the field
This
goal?
was theirs.
Why'd you go for the field
This
goal?
was theirs to win, and they lost it. But kudos to BC.
What were they most upset at? What play call?
Well, they want the coach gone, almost 100%. Even the hosts of the radio show want the coach gone, Bob Dice. They were saying the players, put everything on the field, but the coach lost it for them with the bad calls.
I don't know.
I'm not sure
I
too,
think
but-
I think if the Ottawa offense made 2 first downs, the BC runs out of time
Yeah,
to do anything.
exactly.
So I don't think it's on the coach. I mean, Lions blew you up when you run plays.
Yeah,
What does Greg say? You know the snap count, you know the play, you got a yard. And how many times the Lions tackle for a loss to put you second and long?
yeah,
So if it was second and short, then maybe Crum can run those run pass options he's doing all game. But you put him in second and long, you can't. It's hard to do those RPOs
yeah.
with second and 13, second and 14. So I don't know. I don't think it's. I mean, yeah, I was critical on Dice and Kohari Jones, but the players needed.
Yeah,
to step
it's
up.
not all on them.
Yeah.
But I want to show you this. This was beautiful.
Giving the ball to Mo.
Yeah.
And he was like.
Oh no,
they-
the
literally-
celebrations first.
Lucky was like
And
maybe 10 yards from us.
Oh,
when he
okay.
went up to see his mom and give the ball.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you
That's
doing?
why
Get on
he
the field,
did
man.
drop it.
Look at this. Everyone's celebrating, and he's giving credit to God.
And
there.
Lord, Master, and Savior.
So yeah, this was the one that you're talking about.
Yeah, we were literally one section over.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know what I thought was cool? She hugs Alex Hollins too.
well, he was there.
Holland's probably got a few free meals at the Whitehead household.
Yo, Mom, I took your son's place when he was hurt.
But that was that was beautiful.
It's like, don't go on the field, please.
And then here she is.
You don't want to.
She knows how to hold a football. Like,
Of course she does. That's her little Rodney that caught that ball.
yeah,
So isn't it amazing? When Keon's mom was in the stands, he had that monster game. When Lucky's mom is in the stands, he has a great game too. And catches that touchdown.
yeah. And then I want to show you guys one last clip. This one was fun.
They believe.
So this clip tells me that the future of the BC Lions fan base is not in danger with these 3 kids.
That tells me when are you and Greg gonna do the same thing.
You show us first. You show us first, and then we'll follow. You take the lead.
That's right.
This is your clip, man.
Let's go alphabetical, man.
This is your
A
clip.
comes before G. Hey, we're trying to build a fan base with 3 down bros. We start doing that,
Right.
that fan base might dissipate.
You have the defensive plays at the end of the game, or you didn't bother?
No, that's it. These are all the plays I've queued up. So yeah, so very very much a needed win. It shouldn't have been that difficult, but they made it entertaining. I'm glad for all the new fans that stuck around. But kudos to BC. I mean, I think at the end they did play to their level. Like in the fourth quarter, they played to their level. The first three quarters, and especially the third quarter, they were not playing to their level.
That's for sure.
Would the outcome have been any different if everything stayed the same, but the opponent was a different, any other team but Ottawa?
It would have been a lot tougher for sure, because even Ottawa at their best, we know that we can beat them, right? But so had it been Winnipeg or Toronto, I think we would not have been able to pull it around.
Well, let's take away let's take the perceived two elite teams out of the league. If that was Saskatchewan, Montreal, Hamilton.
I don't
See, it's hard to say. I don't think we would have. It would have been tough.
Yeah.
It would have been tough.
It's not preferred way, and they got lucky.
Yeah.
They got lucky.
They did get lucky.
Very lucky.
Yeah.
Wait, they had to. Number one, they needed a missed field goal return for a touchdown. How often does that happen?
Yeah.
What's a percentage? I mean, for the Lions to do it. No, if we were the Eskimos of the 80s, 90s with Gizmo Williams.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little different story, right? But this is the Lions with Mr. Williams. I mean, the chances. I didn't think there was much of a chance for that to happen. But they needed a big play. They needed a pick six. They needed a turnover, and then to get a quick major. And
They needed to score on Winnipeg. They needed to score on Ottawa's time, and that was just as good as a pick six.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So very unlikely, and they can't think that they can leave it to the last 4 minutes
Yeah,
or whatever. They can't spot a team a lead, and they can't just check out for a quarter.
Yeah.
Their quarterback cannot just not handle adversity and just throw it up. And you got to guard that football.
Yeah.
Those three interceptions were crucial.
They were
critical errors.
Oh yeah.
Right. So
yeah. Ronald asked me, 3 interceptions, is that typical? And I said usually 3 interceptions would be a loss. Right? Winnipeg threw 3 interceptions and they lost.
Yep. Because even if they don't result in points, it kill a drive.
Yeah.
Right. Gives the other team belief at the very, very least.
Exactly.
Yeah. So.
And belief is very important.
Yes.
That's why every game is maybe not a must-win, but it's a building block.
Yeah. But still, we got lucky. But still kudos to the team for all 3 aspects: offense, defense, and special teams in the fourth quarter stepped up. And because they were amped up. Right? When you're amped up, good things happen.
Mm-hmm. I will say they raised their level of passion.
Yeah.
In all 3 phases at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Passion is important.
Yeah.
Which is a segue for Mr. Roland.
All right, Greg. So let's get into the Greg's passion corner.
Leo's Legion, you heard it here. We've broken down plays. We've given our high-level thoughts, and now we're here at Passion Corner. And I'll tell you what, nothing but prop points to go out today because it was a great win. Again, from a fan point of view, from an entertainment point of view, you needed to stay to the very end because it is the CFL. So hopefully a lot of brand new fans were born from today. We know we've got some friends that are willing to come back to the next game. So let's just hand out these prop points. And of course, we got to start. Roland talked about 3 turning points in the game. And the major one was that missed field goal taken all the way back to the house by our man, Mr. Terry Williams. The guy I have been slagging all year long. Why is he running into a crowd? Why is he running into a crowd? Why is he running into a crowd? Insanity, insanity, insanity. He must have heard me because he took that vector out of that end zone. He took that beautiful angle, beat that corner guy. And it was his passion, his desire, and his just wanting to be there for the team, wanting to be there for his brothers that propelled him all the way to the end zone. So, Mr. Terry Williams, I tip my hat to you, give you a prop point from Passion Corner. We call a guy out on this show, and look what happens. Great things happen. And thank you for making a great thing happen today, Terry Williams. And we're going to stay with special teams because I've been kind of hard on him all year long with our episodes. But let's go to Mr. Adrian Green, number 23. I'll tell you, he started off the game with a face masking call, and I'm like, I'm not even in my seat yet, and this is what you're doing? But then we've seen it, a partial punt block. Great open field tackles on dangerous returners in Dandridge and I don't remember what his name, number 41, but great open field tackles by Adrian Green. He was all over the place. First guy down, breaking down the tackle and causing havoc for the return game of Ottawa. So great, Adrian Green, a prop point for you, buddy. Keep it up. And now let's go to the offensive side because we needed to score some points. And as our guy said, my brother Arthur and my brother Roland, we got lucky in this game. We got lucky in this game. Why? Because we got lucky. Lucky Whitehead, our man, number 7, equal sevens. What more could you ask for? All those targets. What was it? 12 targets, 9 catches. And the most critical one is that touchdown on 2nd and 10. Sent the crowd that stayed loyal, stayed to the end, into a frenzy. And what does he do? The best thing you can do is honor mom. Prop point to you, Lucky. Again, remember, crowd, 7s equals 7. And the last prop point we got to hand out to another workhorse today. Not J-Mac as in Jordan McSimic, but J-Mac as in Justin McInnes. Hey, again, great seats thanks to Uniglobe Carefree Travel. Got to see just how good a player this guy is. He's tall, he's rangy, he's silky smooth. He goes up there and gets those 50-50 balls. Wow, over 100 yards for his first game as a complete full-time starter. Prop points to you, Justin. 2 touchdowns, great yak yards, huge effort. Want to give some dishonorable/honorable mentions now. The trenches. Both sides of the ball. I was ready to go poop points to the O and D lines. Getting run on, getting dominated, getting heat on Vernon. But then you guys stepped it up when it counts. So honorable mentions for both those trench guys, the warriors in the trenches. But guys, come on. Bring it from the opening whistle to the end. We cannot keep leaving games until the final 4 minutes. But hey, great win by the Lions. I predicted 5-1. Brother Roland predicted 6-0. We're off to a better start than we were hoping. Let's keep it rolling. Until next week.
All right. Awesome. So next week, who are we playing? We're on the road?
In Edmonton against Trey the Magician.
Yes.
On Friday nights.
Yeah. So thoughts leading up to that game?
Let's see. What did I say at the beginning of this episode? A mobile quarterback and a running back that's halfway decent spells trouble.
Yeah.
Well, we saw what Trey Ford and Kevin Brown did to Saskatchewan last week. Trey Ford's a lot more nimble than Justin Crum.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be tough. How about you, Arthur?
I think that Edmonton, it has to show better than 2 shutout losses to Lions this year.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think they are going to play their Grey Cup game on Friday. They're going to leave it all in the field. They're going to be at home, and they're a new team.
Yeah, they are.
Throw away their old record. Ever since Trey Ford has taken the starter's job, they're a brand new team. Yeah, I think BC is going to have their hands full. They need to play a lot better execution-wise. All 3 phases, they're going to need to step it up.
Yeah.
And they're going to need pressure. They're that front. The defensive front 4 has to be dominant.
Yeah.
Their linebackers have to spy Ford effectively, and I think it's going to be a tough game for the Lions.
Yeah.
Defense, and offensively, a little hot and cold for my liking. I think they're lacking consistency. I'm not sure what's going on with Hatcher. I wonder if there's an injury and they're just marching him out there for a decoy, because they only threw like 3 passes to him all game.
Yeah.
And typically they're throwing 10 plus passes.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm concerned, but maybe Rhymes is close to returning. I think they do need him. So that's my thoughts. And then of course the Lions have to run the ball.
Yeah,
maybe someone should tell Jordan Masimic that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the three key things for me. Running the ball, we need to more than 50 yards, right? Like, we need to have an equally, threatening run game, not just the pass game. We need to be able to defend against the run. Trey Ford. I love this quarterback. He's Canadian. He's doing really well. So I want to see him succeed. But
just not against us.
Yeah, just not against us. And the third thing we've mentioned this so many times, you got to come out firing on all cylinders. You can't wait till the fourth quarter. Got to come out firing on all cylinders. Edmonton is going to be fired up. The crowd is going to be fired up. And, they're professionals. They need to be able to fire themselves up without the crowd. So if those three things are in place, then I feel good. But if we don't have all three of those things, then I'm scared.
Yep.
So score prediction, and I know Roland's going to ask that.
Yeah.
So let's go with Greg.
27-18 Lions. And you know why? Because it looks like our quarterback has got number 7 in his scope now.
Sure.
So I'm calling it our man Lucky, at least a touchdown. At least a touchdown.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, because again, you don't think Edmonton's got belief now? Their fan base has belief now.
Yes.
That defense usually plays everybody tough, and this pitters off at the end of the game because they've been on the field too long. Trey Ford's changed that ratio. That he's equalized that balance.
Yeah.
We've got to have that run game. And you guys talked about keep him off the field, and we got to stay in our lanes when he is on the field.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going 27. What did I say? 27-18. 27-18.
Lions,
I'll
right?
give 27-18 Lions.
Roland.
So if we can score 2 quick touchdowns in the first quarter, then I think we can beat them 30-15.
Whoa.
But that's if we're able to get 2 quick touchdowns.
You have them running the table in this last third. So of course I know you're going to say BC's going to win. That's why I'm just
Look what we're wearing.
So I'm just wondering by how much. Because Roland said they're going to be 6-0 in this last 6 games.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So
there you go.
So if they come out hitting on all cylinders, gets 2 touchdowns in the first quarter,
oh my goodness.
then we can get 30-15. That's my prediction.
Right.
How about you, Arthur?
Prediction 34-24 Elks.
Whoa.
Maryland, you're gonna love me.
Hear that, Mom? Arthur's taking your side.
34-24 Elks. This is my bold prediction. I hope I'm wrong, but
now way to win Mom's favor, Arthur.
I'm just saying. I'm a Lions fan, right? I'm just looking at it objectively, and I don't like this trend. I just don't like this trend they're on. I need to see, sustained play over 60 minutes, and you can't have a no-show for a quarter. That third quarter was a bit of a no-show, and you can't have that.
Yeah.
Against a better team at home, like you're on the road, you are gonna get killed. So they need to show better, and I think they have it in them to show better. Is this question is execution's been
Suspect
in the last 8 games.
Yeah.
And then they've just been win one, lose one, win one, lose one, kind of like a 500 team.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough. Yeah.
It's gonna be, this is tough. Maybe they have the swagger from 2 shutout wins. I hope they're not resting on their laurels, saying that Edmonton can't score points on them.
Well, I mean, Edmonton beat Saskatchewan and Calgary the last 2 games.
they came from behind and beat Saskatchewan
Yeah.
on I think predominantly their run game.
And
Short dump off to that running back, and then that trick play to AC Leonard as a hidden tight end. You got Geno Lewis is still Geno Lewis.
Yeah.
You've got Steven Dunbar likely coming back from injury. They've got some decent receivers on that team too that can stretch the field.
exactly.
And Ford has proven he's got the arm to get it to them.
Yeah.
And I'm very concerned.
Yeah,
Concerned
it
going
is.
into this game. This was one of the games why I thought This is one of the games I thought they would lose in the last 6 games.
Well, I did say 5-1.
Most likely against Winnipeg.
No. I was probably thinking it was going to be a trap game against one of the lesser teams because they should be amped up for Winnipeg. But I think that's what had us most upset. I mean, Winnipeg loses earlier in the day, and then you come out flat as a pancake when that makeup ground is right there for the taking.
Yeah.
So I really hope Arthur's wrong.
Yeah.
On 2 counts, the victory as well as being overconfident, because it's not Cornelius back there anymore. Yeah, he's whatever they thought was starting quarterback material, but I was talking to somebody today and they said, Chris Jones. I said Chris Jones never thought Ford was short yardage material. That's why he never played him. You're not a short yardage specialist. Well, did you look that Cornelius may not be starting quarterback specialist? But Cornelius, you get him close enough, he's that big body that can drive the end zone.
Yeah.
This is a trap game. I think worse than the Ottawa game, because Ottawa you had the week off, trap enough. But here you've got that overconfidence that could just creep in there, right?
Well, they shouldn't be. They shouldn't be confident. I mean, Edmonton's going to be coming out strong because they're going to be. They have something to prove, right?
Yep. And they're not that far out of a playoff spot.
So we need to match their intensity. If we come out flat, then I think there's no way we can do a comeback from behind 2 weeks in a row.
100%. I mean, remember leading into the Ottawa game, everyone said, "Hey, we learned the lesson again, from that Hamilton loss at home." Right? That's all we were hearing coming into this Ottawa game, and let's revisit the first 3 quarters. I guess I might need therapy. Truly, I might need therapy. But yeah, that's very concerning for me. That third quarter, I think I'm like, oh, hey, they have the talent to pull it off, but we knew that. They have executed earlier in the season at a high degree, at a high level, and lately it's just been sputtering. It's been inconsistent. They need to get to a consistent level of execution and a greater level of energy and motivation. They got to initiate to make a big play and not wait for an inferior quarterback to give them a free, easy play to make. They have to initiate.
I don't think Trey Ford's an inferior quarterback.
No.
Well, they've been feasting on inferior quarterbacks or inferior quarterback play.
Yes.
Right. So, if they're gonna wait for, maybe they're hoping that they maybe from a schematic point of view they're in the right position. They get pressure on the quarterback, and they're in a zone, and then Ford's just gonna throw one up, and they're gonna pick off some. Sure, but I think you need to be initiative.
Because I think Ford will take off before he throws one up there.
Yeah.
And they have to have Ben Hladek is going to have to play the game of his life.
That's just what I was saying in our review show. They have to see what they have in Hladek and now Varga, and Joshua and Bergamba. They have to see what they have in these younger linebackers, because for next year, when the Lions are hosting the Grey Cup, it's on all-in season. They can't have any kind of perceived holes, especially at linebacker. So they've got to see what they got, and they're going to find out on a mobile running quarterback who's, I guess, a bit hot right now, right, Greg?
A bit hot, yeah. I would say a lot hot.
This is a good measuring stick.
Yep.
It's a different team.
Yeah, because he's got an arm that can be. He might not have the touch of Caleros, but again, we don't know. I mean, he played as what was it last year? He played again. He got into a game and started against, and I think we won, but he gave us fits.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now he's got that X factor. He's got belief, and he's got his team believing in him.
Yeah.
And they're at home.
Yeah. We can't take them for granted. They're going to be a strong team, so we got to come out strong.
And one thing, Roland, Lions somehow don't do well against third-string quarterbacks.
No.
Well, I'm hoping we learned our lesson.
Yeah, maybe the 4th time.
Yeah.
Maybe the fourth time they face a third string quarterback, they'll finally learn the lesson.
Yeah. I mean, you just. I think 80% of the 80% is getting the energy from the get-go. Like if they played with the same energy like we saw in the fourth quarter, then for sure we're gonna win.
Well, they would have taken the belief out of Ottawa early on.
Yeah. No, I mean like with Edmonton. If we start out the game with that energy, then I'm sure we're gonna win.
Yeah, take the crowd out of it. Take the and the other reason we need to come up with energy is we got to play hard so we come out of the game healthy.
Yeah.
You don't play with energy, you don't play with intensity. That's when injuries can happen. And touch wood, we got to come out healthy because we got to stay healthy in this home stretch.
Yeah.
That's key.
So, I don't know if the Lions are listening to us, but if they are, just go out there and play hard. You're gonna have a lot more fun. Like, think of how much fun you had at the end of the fourth quarter. When you're playing hard, you're going to be having fun. When you're playing like, I'm just going to go through the motions, you're not having fun. But when you're having fun and you got the energy, that's when good things happen.
If I could just throw this one pitch in there, like, we got our man Lucky, 7 equals 7s, right? But Uniglobe Carefree Travel, if you're listening, if they need to, can you fly Lucky's mom out to Edmonton, put her in the stands, just add that extra little bit for Lucky's game if she's still in town? Thought I'd throw that in there. Or, I don't care, Alex Holland's mom, any of those receivers' moms, put them in the stands.
I think they need to fly 40 some moms to the to Commonwealth. I think that would help.
The Canucks have the dad road trip. Why can't the Lions have a mom road trip? Every football player says, "Hi, mom," right? Well, let's get mom there. Let's get the entire offensive and defensive lines mothers there. I don't care. We need everything to ensure that this is a victory. So, hey, play that Marcus Sales clip. Marcus, if you're a little bit on the banged up side, we're praying for you, brother, to come back healthy for this game because we need you. But play that clip. I don't care. Play that clip over and over and over in that locker room, and let's have the Lions come out hitting like that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think we'll call it a show. It was a great game from a fan perspective. We had a lot to talk about. Hopefully, Arthur's prediction doesn't come to pass.
Sorry, Mom. Sorry, bye, Mom.
We'll find out. We'll find out next week. Tune in, and let us know what you guys think.
Remember, like and subscribe.
Leave us comments.
All right. Okay. Take care, guys. See you next time.
See you next week.
See ya.
Bye-bye.